Welcome to Spa for today's qualifying for the Belgium Grand Prix. It's going to be a very exciting session today, but are we expecting the Mercedes to favour this track? Spa is always a difficult track to predict who will do well at, but after the last few years, it's been a mix of Red Bull, McLaren and Ferrari drivers that have excelled.
Well, Ferrari have had 16 wins here over the years, but today I'd probably give the advantage to Red Bull. They're always able to pull off something special here.
Round 11 of the season, the ship's trends at Spa-Francorchamps, obviously the beautiful track. Hello everyone, how are you doing? This is, as I said, the 11th round of my F1 2015 championship mode. We're driving, as always, in our little Sauber here at Felipe Nasr. And about to start our first qualifying lap, and as you can see, it's quite an interesting session. DRS has been enabled here, which means I'm on a slick tire. At the same time, there are a few raindrops out on track at the moment, and this is right at the beginning of the session. I noticed when I was in the garage and looking out of it that the raindrops were actually falling, and you could also see it in the little introduction to the track, I would say, to the qualifying session, that there was a little bit of rain, which is indeed the case. That's why I straight away went out in qualifying, because I think the scenario is that the track started dry, but because it's going to rain harder and harder most likely towards the end of the session, and because of that I should say, the track gets wetter and wetter as well. So this was my very first go. I mean, I did not have any practice laps or whatever. That's always the way I do it with the championship mode here. I have never done a single lap in practice. I skip straight away to the qualifying, and so have I done it over here. So far, it's obviously not the quickest lap ever. I mean, it's my first lap around this track in this game. So far though, looking steady, I would say. But there's a McLaren Honda up front, which is a little bit worrying, because if he's going to hold us up, then we may have a problem. But so far it seems to be kind of okay if he stays out of the way for this corner, which he indeed does so. And actually it's a little bit of an advantage. We know that the McLaren Honda is pretty slow in a straight line. There we go, going up to rich mixture, up to 8th gear, picking up the slipstream. So that's what I mean with the advantage, gaining a little bit of a speed advantage because of the slipstream, and overtaking the McLaren Honda easily even before Blanchimon. First couple of lap times are being put on the board right now. Let's see whether we can beat it. All we have got left is the bus stop chicane. Well, we make a right mess out of that one. Got us a couple of tenths. I'm sure the US wide open now for the short run to the line. And what can we do? And it's 49.6. So about 3.5 tenths down on Rosberg as we straight away try to set another lap time. Putting ourselves up into P2 in between Hamilton and Rosberg. It was Raikkonen before. And when you skip later though at the same lap, I could not improve. You can see here 2 tenths down at the end of the middle sector. And I remember that, as I'm also out of view over here, I remember that the second sector felt really good, so I thought, this is going to be a time which is quicker, but it was not.
It certainly was a qualifying lap to remember, but he'll be wanting to convert it into a race win tomorrow. I think after that performance, he's in with a great chance.
Welcome to the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, which is the location for today's race. The cars are out on the grid, so let's join the action on the track. On pole today is Lewis Hamilton. The Mercedes was dominant during qualifying, and with the power unit advantage, well, you just can't see anybody challenging for that race win today.
He's definitely going to be difficult to beat today, but anything can happen, so we'll have to keep a close eye on how this unfolds over the course of the race.
Lewis Hamilton described the win last time out as one of the best of his career. With the strength of that Mercedes this season, he has the perfect tool at his disposal to get more race wins.
Well, we all know how good Lewis can be when his mind is in the right place. He can be really hard on himself though when things don't go his way, but when they do, he's pretty much unbeatable.
So only P5 after that qualifying session, which was quite interesting. It just started to rain a little bit too much. People still improved though later on. Like, I was really surprised because of that. I could not do that. So that is an interesting one. It gives us a nice prospect for the race as well, which we are about to start right here. Let's see what we can do at the start. Maybe make up a couple of positions, run down to, the run up to, the chicane after the Camel Straight. Here we go then, at the start, a relatively safe start on the inside of Raikkonen, so that's one place already gained, which is good. Here we go, here comes the Mercedes power in front. Obviously all cars in front are Mercedes. We are up into rich mixture though, and we have a nice Ferrari engine under our belt as well. Lots of sparks coming from Rosberg's car there, flying into my face. I'm trying to get the weather prediction forecast using it by the radio, but I cannot do it. However, on the inside here of Rosberg, Bottas as well going on the inside of Hamilton. So we've got two moves going on over here, bit of a luck up for this complex. Somehow we managed to make that stick though without any contact. I agree it was a rather aggressive move, but I had to do it. Up into P3 at the moment. Need to try to stick with those guys in front if I can, but making a big mistake over here, going way too deep into this hairpin. It's really bad. It can easily cost you a couple of tenths. Light rain arriving in 5 minutes, so you can already see that there are a few spots of rain. So this is quite an interesting race. I mean, we've got rain already, and it's obviously Spa, so tricky conditions are somewhat to be expected. More rain will fall, that's for sure, towards the end of the race. At least it's going to come in 5 minutes, a little bit harder in terms of rain intensity. And Hamilton absolutely flying off at the moment. Look at that, he created a big gap to Bottas already. We are somewhat able to stick with Bottas and making ourselves a huge gap to Rosberg. Well, huge. Well, I would say 1.7 seconds is quite a bit in 1 sector time. We go on Bottas on the inside of Blanchimont. Should be an easy move. 347 kilometers an hour heading into Blanchimont and keeping the foot flat on the throttle. Braking for the bus stop this time, again making a mess of it. You can see clearly that I missed my apex, so I need to work on that during the race. I messed it up in qualifying already, and also doing it here in the first lap of the race. Hamilton has got a gap of 1.9 seconds to us as we skip to the end of lap 2, opening up lap 3. Hamilton is setting a 150.6, and we are only able to do a 151.3, so Hamilton definitely quicker than us at this stage. And look at Bottas as well, sticking with us as well as DRS has been enabled, so we need to try to make sure that we somewhat pick up the pace. But look at the damage indicator there on the right hand side. I have no idea. I'm not exactly sure why my tires are already so damaged. I think they were like that already at the start of the race, so maybe the tire wear from the qualifying session carried over to the race or something. I was rather confused to see that, because usually I think you start on the brand new set of tires in the race, but it was not the case over here. So I knew that probably compromised my pace a little bit, but it doesn't fully explain the what was it, 7/10 gap Hamilton has over us per lap. Coming to the end of lap 3, opening up lap 4, 151.9, 3.3 seconds the gap to Hamilton, and Bottas just 3 tenths behind us. So we need to look in our mirrors quite a bit, and Hamilton seems to be too quick for us at the moment. Let's be honest, let's face it. And maybe towards the end of the stint we can attack him. Remember as well that the rain is a factor as Bottas tries to go side by side into a roost, which we did so, but I had the inside line for that right kink and Bottas had to back out of it. 346 kilometers an hour, something right about there. Race update. Let's see what the engineer says. Right, so our pit window is open, but I don't know whether I should pit, because I don't know whether it's fully ready for the intermediate tires. The weather right now is so interesting that it's hard to predict what's going to happen. It's hard to make a decision what you should do in terms of tire strategy. Let's see what I do, by the way, over here. I select the tires. As I go a bit wide into Pouhon as I try to select the tire. It's intermediate. I select the intermediate at the moment. Would be interesting to see whether it's dry enough for the intermediate. Of course, I'm bound to pit anyway right about now. Maybe this lap, maybe next lap. But it's going to be slicks or intermediates. That's obviously a big difference. But since the rain should be falling down harder and harder towards the end of the race, at least in the next 10 laps or so, I would say, why not go for inters? And then it's going to be really interesting to see what the AI is going to do in terms of tires. Is Hamilton going to come in? The answer is no. I doubt he came in. No, he did indeed, excuse me, did not. Bottas doesn't come in either, so we are the only in the top 3 coming in. And on the minimap you can see that there are more cars coming in, though. You can see the pit crew running out of the garage as well on the right hand side. I think that's the Mercedes pit crew, so they are most likely preparing for Rosberg. However, we are at the end of the pit lane over here. And fitting indeed the intermediate tire. 2.3 second stop, really nice. Let's see where we feed out now. This will be interesting. Is it wet enough for the intermediate? You can see raindrops on the screen as well. That's usually quite a good indicator that it's wet enough for intermediate tires. Feeding out in P9. Maldonado right behind us, so look at it. He tries to make a move on Eau Rouge. Side by side with Maldonado into Eau Rouge is frightening, but it didn't quite happen. Having the RS as well nicely on Sainz. There's a move up ahead. I think that was our teammate, which it was indeed. Skipping a little bit later in front of Sainz behind Ricciardo. Look at the tire graphic on the right hand side, the temperature. Fronts are not fully up to temperature just yet. But it seems like I have the grip. Look at this compared to the slick tire. As I go on the inside of Ricciardo there, who was really kind of leaving some space there. A little bit too kind in my opinion. Right behind our teammate over here. Surely not around the outside. No, surely not. But I think it was the right call. I mean, these intermediate tires seem to have quite good grip. In fact, I'm being heavily held up here behind those guys who are running on slicks. Contact made there with my teammate Ericsson, but in the end getting past nicely. And this, because Hamilton stayed out on the slick tire, we are on intermediate, and we see what kind of an effect it has on the guys behind us. We were easily able to overtake them. Maybe we closed the gap to Hamilton slightly. Who knows? It's definitely ready for Inters though, that's for sure. Coming into the bus stop chicane over here. Not making a mess of it this time, and opening up lap 7 over here. Seems like Massa is staying out then. But where is Hamilton? Bottas is on the right hand side, I think. There we go, there's Bottas. And he is surprisingly close to us. I honestly did not expect Bottas to be that close to me. He almost exited out in front of me. What is going to be an advantage now for us though, is that we have got tires which are up to temperature. And Bottas behind hasn't got those tires. You can instantly see through our Rouge. He dropped back by about a second even. So we have got the advantage now, at least for 3/4 of a lap, something like that, half a lap before the tires from Bottas' car are warmed up as well. But the 2.7 gap to Fiat up front, who hasn't stopped yet. Obviously he's on more tires, don't get me wrong. But still, I seem to be gaining, you can see it visually, corner by corner, I seem to be gaining a couple of tenths. I even gained like 1 second through that, one single hairpin. So the intermediate is the right tire, I'm really sure. But Hamilton, where is Hamilton? Is Hamilton in front of Fiat? No, that's Verstappen. So Hamilton is still quite a long way ahead then, that's for sure. Which is a bit of a bummer for us. I honestly hope to be closer. But with the rain falling down right now as well, it does open up a few more opportunities or possibilities to maybe attack Hamilton later on in the race. Who knows? On the inside of Verstappen over here, he leaves room nicely on the inside. And we take it. Hamilton in second then. If you look on the min-map, it seems like he's going to make a move though rather soon on the guy who is in first place. And I presume that the guys around us, or the guys who have pitted for the intermediate as well. He should have good grip, is what the engineer says. As Hamilton in the pit lane! Hamilton and Massa both went into the pit lane, so Hamilton effectively makes a double stop right now as we take the lead of the race in lap 8. But Hamilton comes in twice, so Hamilton must have gone for the slick tire previously. It was the wrong decision. He comes in back again. And this time most likely then for the intermediate. I don't see him going to full wet. And when you look at the minimap, everyone in the mamas is into the pit lane. And that is really interesting. I have to say, I'm trying again to... I think I was trying over here to use a voice control with the radio, but nothing happened. I know, by the way, how the radio works right now, how you can use it. But at this time, at Spa, recorded a couple of weeks ago. I did not know it at the time. Coming back to the race though, P1. We started in P5, and we have got a 15-second gap to Hamilton. So let's keep an eye out on that 15-second gap to Hamilton. You can see here in lap 13, the gap is 16 seconds. And that means that we are actually looking really nice, because it's raining as I go into the pit lane most likely on this lap. It's raining and we are extending the gap to Hamilton behind. And the most beautiful thing out of it all is that Rosberg is not in the top 3. I believe, if I remember correctly, that Rosberg is leading the championship. Ooh, a big slide there. Nicely kept. Well done. I say well done to myself. Wow. That was a stupid joke. So we're going to pit in this lap then. Definitely past the halfway mark of the race. But as I said, I think Hamilton is in second then. But Rosberg, I think he was leading the championship. But he's not in top 3 at the moment. So if it stays like this, we're going to gain quite a few points on Rosberg. Because Hamilton closed up by about 6 tenths or 7 tenths even. Over the course of the last middle sector. So he is a bit quicker at this stage. But that's okay. We decide to pit. Remember that Hamilton had the fresh tires as well. Intermediate tires on the last stint. So we increased the gap, which is quite good. Really good for our race and chance of a victory. Which would be nice. What was our last victory? I cannot remember honestly. No, I really cannot remember to be honest. Hamilton in pit lane as well though. 2.4 second stop by the Sauber pit crew. Since Hamilton is in the pit lane as well, that 15-second gap should stay. And obviously we rejoin in the lead as well. No surprises there. But maybe what could still be a surprise is the weather. Hey, the slick tire. The engineer suddenly talking about the slick tire, and immediately I look at the race director and the guys who have pitted, Hamilton and Massa, both went to the slick tire. They went to the prime tire. I was just about to say, maybe the weather at Spa could still throw up some surprises, and here is one. 8 more laps to go, the guys behind on the slick tire. But is the track ready for slicks? And if if it is ready, is the slick actually faster than the intermediate at this stage as well? If not, I'm obviously going to stay out for the last 7 laps or so. Obviously the track is going to dry up more and more, which means they will definitely have the advantage towards the end of the race. But for now, let's see and focus first whether the slick is actually quicker. So what was the gap to Hamilton at the end of the first sector? I'm not sure. I did not look, to be honest. So I'm gonna keep an eye out on the sector times right now. If Hamilton closed up by an incredible, margin over the last sector, then I know that I should pit. So I'm ready over here to dive into the pit lane. Hamilton on the minimap, you could see that he is about to cross the sector line right about now. What kind of gap is it? 15.1 seconds, and that was, it's not as big as it was before. And so I think that I should pit as well. And I effectively do the same thing now which Hamilton did in the first stint. I make a double pit stop. So it was ready for slicks. I did not know that at the time it's still running, it's still a bit cloudy. The engineer didn't talk about any, drying either of the weather conditions. But I think this is going to put Hamilton again in front of us. He's coming down the start-finish straight right now. Passes us right now. 2.2 second stop by the Sauber pit team. And with 6 laps to go, we definitely are going to rejoin behind Hamilton. There he is. And this is going to be a battle. I selected the option tire because I have no other choice right now if I still want to win this race. We are behind Hamilton, P2. The gap seems to be about 3-4 seconds, I would say 4 even. And we've got 6 laps to go to do something about that. Race on, race on indeed. What is the gap though? Let's have a look at it first. Probably about 3-4 seconds. 1, 2, 2.5. That's actually not a lot at all. It seemed a bit bigger than that. But I'm not complaining. Look at this. Yeah, the slicks here have quite a bit of grip. A bit of oversteer on the exit there, but the initial turn-in is really good. Look at that. I'm a bit too much to the inside of the corner, in fact, because I'm surprised by the grip. Over here as well. You can see that I just turned in too early even. So I need to get used to the grip of the slicks compared to the intermediate, of course. Most likely the track though is going to dry up. We've had a bit of rain in the middle part of the race, I would say. A bit of drizzle, which is enough to be, on the intermediate tire. But it's still drizzling, but the track is drying up. And therefore, the option tire seems to be the quickest tire, or the slick at least. But what is going to be interesting is that Hamilton is on the prime tire. We are on the option. We need to close that gap right about now, because my tires are going to wear more than Hamilton's tires, of course, because he's on the prime, I'm on the option. Which means he may be quicker than us towards the end of the race. And that's why we need to strike now in the next 5 laps. Ooh, big cut there in the bus stop chicane, as I did not expect the car to turn in that nicely. Gap to Hamilton though. 2 seconds, too flat, so I gained a bit of time on him. There are no cuts, by the way, for the next 2 laps or so, 2-3 laps. This is just a chase down to Hamilton. Let's see what my driving is like, because these laps are so important right now. I need to make the best out of them, or get the best out of them rather as well. There's a back marker in front of Hamilton though, that could possibly help us. 2 seconds was the gap before. You are constantly looking at that gap, of course. It's 1.73 tenths gained in the first sector alone, which is quite a lot. Really good news for us. You can see they're pushing on the limit. Almost running a bit too wide. This back marker gets nicely out of the way for Hamilton. Roberto Meri. You see the blue flags for him as well being waved now. He will most likely get out of the way over here. A bit of oversteer there. Make sure that you keep it out of that wall. Massa behind as well. There's such a big gap between us and Massa. It's basically, you know, do or die right now. Of course, if I make a big mistake, then Massa will overtake us again. But I wanted to make up so badly from the bad race in Hungary. Hungary was just a one-off, to be honest. The driving was dirty. I don't know. It was just a bad race, and I felt like I had to do a better job at this race and compromise for the bad result there, which we are doing so quite nicely right now. But would it even be nicer if we could get the win at Spa? Effectively my home race, I think. I think Spa is the closest to my home in the Netherlands. Maybe Silverstone is, but obviously you would have to cross the sea, or the sea, not the sea, the Noordzee as we call it in the Netherlands, the North Sea, most likely in the English language. Set the fastest lap though last time round, as I'm trying to get another race update from the engineer. Let's listen.
The gap is just 1 second. You're gaining by around 0.6 a lap. Nasr is behind you. 15 plus separates you. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this top lap.
Ooh, 1 second. Just 1 more second to Hamilton. This is exactly what we needed as I take a bit of overspeed into that corner, even riding the gravel. See that I'm pushing for sure. I'm trying to close that gap, because I know if I don't do it now, you know, I will most likely never do it, because Hamilton maybe has the advantage towards the end of the race with those prime tires, as my tires start to wear more, or are wearing out more and quicker, I should say, than his tires. Through Pulhan, nicely through there. Obviously the fuel level is a lot lighter than at the start of the race. 49.6, fastest lap of the race so far. And I think that will stay there as the fastest lap of the race, unless someone else beats it, of course. 1 second it was to Hamilton before. Hamilton seems to be quick in the middle sector. We seem to be quick in the first and third sector. Indeed gained about, what is it, a 10th in the middle sector. But still we gained at least something. But it seems to be the first and the third sector, as I said, where we gained something on Hamilton. Let's see whether we get in the whether we can get within the DRS on this lap. There's the DRS detection point. Missed the apex slightly for the bus stop, but it does seem like I'm within the second. Here we go. Yep, got DRS. 3 more laps to go, including this one. Actually 4, including this one. Hamilton having a really nice exit. The last source there. Will I even get DRS? I doubt it. Look at this. Hamilton just gained massively on the exit of La Source, the first turn. Nope, no DRS for me. That's interesting. Really quick first sector from Hamilton then. But I gained a little bit in the slipstream. 7 tenths is the gap. And we are putting more pressure on Hamilton. But if I want to strike and go for the victory, it needs to be rather, you know, sooner than later. I said it before. He has less wear than I have got on the tires. We seem to be quite close right now. Look at this. Really nice corner there. Close up to him by a few tenths, I would say. Pulhan picking up some dirty air right now as well. Keep that in mind. Going to lean mixture, saving a bit of fuel so I can attack down the straights. For example, in the third sector and the first one, this middle sector. Yeah, you can overtake, of course. You can always overtake, but it's tough. It's tougher to do it than to do it here. 4 tenths, gain another 3 tenths in the middle sector. am I going to... No, I'm going to lean, in fact. I was just about to say, or ask rather, am I going to ridge? Now I'm going to lean. So it seems like I'm preparing a move down the camel straight. Is it camel straight or hanger straight? I think it's camel. Ooh, actually going already for the inside over here, trying to cut back, but Hamilton is there, so I cannot really do that. Around the outside here, opening up the DRS. This is the battle for the lead, of course. We'll go side by side into turn 1. Having said that, I'm on lean mixture, so Hamilton is definitely quicker there down that straight, and I give a bit of a tap to Hamilton there. Would be a bit unfair if I overtook him, so I lifted a little bit there on the exit, picking up the slipstream once again, right behind him here, and opening up the DRS right now. We're still in lead mixture, in fact, not even using ridge, but the DRS effect seems to be so effective, covering the inside so Hamilton doesn't overtake me back. That means that we are in P1 again, with 3 more laps to go, and now it's time for me to pull away. I know that I saved a little bit of fuel, so maybe I can use it to pull away and make sure that the victory is ours. Easier said than done though. We've got a Mercedes powered car behind us. We've got a Mercedes behind us. We've got Hamilton behind us, so it's not easy to do. Hamilton really quick through Pouhon there. That was amazing. You'd see in the mirror that he pulled or closes down by a few tenths on the exit of Pouhon. So Hamilton not giving up. Most likely I'm going to go to ridge mixture about here. At least you would think so. Am I? Yes, I am. Hamilton really close behind us. He is not giving up. We go for the inside here at the bus stop. I think he's too far back. He is indeed. Good thing is that we've got a little bit of fuel to play with. Use it for the fence. Nice bus stop chicane there, leaving Hamilton behind. Eat my dust, Lewis. 6 tenths as we cross the line. Braking quite late for Lassource. You could hear the tires locking. I'm trying to push. Trying to make sure that I take the victory home. We're getting rather close to it. 2 more laps to go, but remember that my tire wear is without any doubt higher per lap than it is on Hamilton's tires. We are on the option. He is on the prime. He will get DRS over here as well. Let's see how effective it is for him. Not too effective, to be honest. He closes down definitely, but not by all that much as we make the cut to the middle of lap 21. About the middle. 1.5 more laps to go. Would be really nice if we could win this one. Rosberg, however, has moved himself up to P3, so that's a little bit, you know, of bad news. However, it's better than him finishing in P2, of course, so we'll still gain about 10 points on Rosberg if I can keep this lead. And that's all dependable on what Hamilton is still going to do. Again, the bus stop, this is an important one. And Hamilton seems to be taking a little bit of a different line. I'm having a better exit out of the bus stop. And the gap is 5 tenths, 5.5 tenths, heading into the last lap of the race. Maldonado in front, the back marker could play a part in this battle maybe as well. We'll see. But the final lap is on its way. I've got a lot of fuel as well though, which is really nice. If we play it smart, you can see Hamilton is coming closer but not close enough. If we play it smart here, then the victory should be ours, honestly. If I'm going to throw this away, I'm going to punch myself, because that would be a bit stupid. Don't throw it away there. Bit of an oversteering moment, trying to put the power down. You can see there that I'm usually that's my style, I guess, in F1 2015. Especially in that corner, in that hairpin, where it goes, whoa, keep it out of the barriers, dude. Where, you know, that hairpin goes a little bit downhill, has a little bit of banking as well. A little bit though, but it's more the fact that it goes downhill as Hamilton, look at that, really close behind us on the exit of Pouhon, but not close enough. When it goes downhill, I tend to, you know, let the rear end slide a little bit. That means that the weight is at the front end of the car, and that way it easily, you know, sticks to the inside of the apex, especially downhill. Almost in the gravel over there. Make sure that you don't do it. Hamilton is just 3 tenths behind us though. we're going to go to the final sector of the race. We are already in the final sector of the race. Looks like Pastor Maldonado won't have an influence on this battle, which is good, because you never want Pastor to have an influence on any kind of battle. Coming into the bus stop chicane though, mix 2. It seems like we're going to take it. Surely we are going to take it. Checkered flag is out. Hamilton will have the DRS for the very short run to the line, but it's not going to be enough. We take home a victory then. And boy is it an important victory. Rosberg in P3 at the end, who managed to overtake Massa then most likely. But we did the maximum we could do today, and that is what counts. I think it's going to be looking quite interesting as well in the championship. This could be so important for us in the championship, because remember, we are still battling for the championship, even though we have got that Sauber.
Everything went right for Felipe Nasr this weekend, and it's resulted in the Sauber driver winning the Grand Prix and picking up 25 championship points.
Indeed, they'll be ecstatic with that result, and they should be. It was a fantastic drive.
After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
1 point behind Nico Rosberg as we head into the next race. I would like to thank you guys for watching. If you have enjoyed it, I would appreciate a like, and hopefully I made up for the disastrous race in Hungary. Thanks for watching, goodbye and take care.